Hey there, Capricorn. Welcome to your reading for the week of October 27th. You have this card that says, have faith in your dreams. You also have this card that says, nothing is yet set in stone. So there you go. Capricorn, I do think it is a good time for you to have faith in your dreams, and that also you're not out of time. I feel kind of like two things here for you, Capricorn. It's like, number one, yeah, sure, you're not getting any younger. Number one, but number two, I think you still have plenty of time. I'm pretty sure I talked to you about this in your last reading that I did, that some of you definitely are feeling the pressures of time because of Saturn is retrograde in Pisces, and Saturn is your ruling planet. And so with Saturn retrograde, you could be like feeling like you're running out of time, or you don't have enough time to do something, and but really it's like, yeah, I mean, you don't have forever, but at the same time, you can't make this up. You have this card that says time is up. It says no second chances, no revisiting, there's something better. So maybe time is up. I don't know. This reading might make me eat my words by the end, but we'll see what comes up. But I still think you have plenty of time, right? I think some of you could just be putting too much pressure on whatever it is you're trying to do right now. You start here in your current general energies with the Five of Swords, Four of Pentacles, and the Star. The Five of Swords is definitely about taking a risk, which I think has come up for you before. For Capricorn, it's pretty simple. It's about leaving comfort zones. It's also about facing things, like certain fears and things that have happened to you in the past and trying them again. It literally could be anything, but, I've told you this before, that, having Pluto in your sign for a very long time, now it's in Aquarius, of course, but since you had it there for so long, there might have been moments in other things, by the way, not just Pluto in your sign, but other things that have happened over the past few years as well. It's almost like if you tried to do something, it felt like you were being punished. And, I feel like a quick little life hack for Capricorn is to try those things again. And again, this is very general, could be trying to start a business again, or trying to have love again, or trying to improve your health again, because the energy is better for you as far as like sticking to things is concerned. And, maybe the problem in the past was just giving up too soon, or not giving it something enough time. Again, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I definitely feel that there also were things that just weren't meant to work at the time. So, there were definitely blockages. But now I think it's time for Capricorn to like face the fear of failure, or to face the fear of something not working when it could. And that's like the risk you have to take. You have the Four of Pentacles, again, letting go of the past story. Four of Pentacles, he's holding on to something. Those Four of Pentacles are something. Four of Pentacles isn't all bad. He is secure, but he might have, really, the way that I think of the Four of Pentacles, I'm just going to tell you how I feel about the Four of Pentacles, right? Is the fact that it's like not really bad. Sure, he's supported, but it's just the universe is like saying, like, sure, you could have more. So why not go for it, right? I like to encourage people to grow and get as much as possible out of life, as much as they possibly can. So I feel the Four of Pentacles like, okay, I mean, maybe your situation is fine, but your life could be exceptional, or it could be a lot better, right? And we have the Nine of Pentacles here, which would definitely be better. And so I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I am saying it would be worth it. You have the Star. The Star is like having a North Star, having a wish or a guiding light. Definitely something I feel is another little life hack for Capricorn, is picking something to accomplish, just one thing, and it doesn't even have to be anything that big. It can be something very small, because right now we are in a time where it really is the journey that is going to get us somewhere. I feel everybody's in a little bit of a holding pattern right now. It's like people are waiting for things. This is very Neptune and Pisces energy, where we kind of like wait for something to happen. We wait for inspiration. We wait for, someone to tell us to do something, but that's never going to happen. So, really Neptune and Pisces, I think part of it is that it tries to get us to believe in ourselves more. And it wants us to trust our own, like what we think we should accomplish, not what someone tells us we should accomplish. Or, it wants us to provide our own feedback as well. It wants us to, get started on something, and it wants us to tell ourselves that we are right, whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. I know that might sound confusing, but it's not. Because normally when Neptune isn't in Pisces, we get little clues that we're going in the right direction. People might tell you you're doing a good job, or, maybe you have a very quick success at something. And, that is gone. It has been for years. You probably felt it. So, yeah, Neptune will be moving into Aries in January, but, it's not going to happen overnight. This energy is going to take a little bit of time. And, so I feel people who are able to self-motivate right now are going to be very successful. And so, yeah, that's what I want to encourage you to do here, Capricorn, is like self-motivate and, pick one goal, wish, dream, something to accomplish. With the Five of Swords, you have the King of Swords. The problem with the Five of Swords and the King of Swords is knowing too much, basically. It's like the curse of knowledge. And I don't really feel this is like a big obstacle. But again, if you're basing something new based off of the past, it's like, yeah, maybe that's your history. Maybe it's true, but it might not be true now. So I would look at things with fresh eyes. Maybe looking at things as if they are new and telling yourself that and saying, well, yeah, this idea didn't work in the past, or this business or this health routine didn't work for me, but maybe things are different now. And trying again is what this first row wants you to do. With the Four of Pentacles, you have the Tower. Yes, like I said, it's like I really felt that if you've tried things in the past, I think it's almost like you've been punished. It's like if you tried to have a business, maybe you ended up in a worse position than you were before you tried it, right? Same thing in love. It's like maybe you trusted someone and you really thought you could trust someone, but you couldn't. And, maybe it really kind of set you back a little bit. I really do feel this first row, this is not a bad reading, by the way, here, Capricorn, but I do feel this first row is talking about those like past setbacks, those past punishments from the universe. The good news is we have the Star after the Tower, so that's exactly what we want in a reading. It says you're healing. Yes, with the Star, you have the Ten of Pentacles. Again, Four of Pentacles, boring. Ten of Pentacles, very exciting. Much better, and also security. Ten of Pentacles is kind of like having it all. Do we ever truly have it all? No, but, I think working towards it, as I probably say to you all the time, Capricorn, is a worthy goal. And so I feel that a lot of you, it's like you really have the opportunity to create a much better life. But, I feel, facing some of those things that you've had to face in the past again, and doing it bravely is what the reading is really asking you to do. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this Bull card. It says masculinity, objectivity, and leadership. You have this Rat. It says shrewd choices, reproduction, and agility. Yeah, it is an amazing time for Capricorn to take the lead on anything. I think you have an amazing opportunity to become an authority as well. This could be like an expert at something. This could be on like social media. Even you could be building a following by becoming an authority. You could just be improving like your work life in general by becoming an authority. Again, Pluto in your second house now, that's where you're going to get your value, or that's where you're going to build power, is with your values, right? The second house is, material goods, things like that, but it's also, our values, how we value everything and how we value ourselves. So the more you do that, the better, and the more power you can kind of gain at this time. You have the Four of Cups, the Magician, the Temperance card, and the Five of Wands. Yeah, I feel like this is saying you're going to have to be different with the Magician. The Magician is about reinvention. He might be changing himself, or he might be changing his energy, or he might be trying to match a certain energy. And he literally on the table, he would be pointing to the Wheel of Fortune. So you are changing. Four of Cups is about trying again. That's where that message came from, by the way, is this card right here. He's tried something 3 times before, and he's failed every time. And now he's getting another opportunity right here, but he's not accepting it. So in some ways, he needs to trust his history with the King of Swords. He has to trust that he has learned the lessons from these 3 cups that he can apply to this 1 cup, and he'll be much more successful this time around. So I feel for a lot of you, it's saying that, you have all the knowledge and wisdom necessary. It's like, yeah, I wouldn't necessarily think about something too much with that King of Swords, but I would definitely trust the lessons that you've learned and apply them. You have the Temperance card. Temperance, it gives me like a little bit of what are you waiting for type of energy. And again, at the end of the reading, you have that Time is Up card. So Temperance, he could easily walk down this path and claim this crown right here. But he is waiting. He's like waiting for the perfect moment. Again, Neptune and Pisces, I wouldn't necessarily wait. I also don't think you have to rush either, but, I would take some steps to make something happen with this energy. And again, he's trying to perfect his situation when he could easily go claim this crown. I feel like a little bit of, I was literally going to say, I wasn't even paying attention. You do have the 5 wands here. I was going to say, I feel a little bit of competition on the temperance card. I feel like some of you, especially in like work or business, I feel you have these moments, like I feel this intuitively, where you get very excited, like you think, oh, I could do this, whatever this is, whatever you're doing. And then I feel there are moments where you see the competition, and that might be a little scary for some of you, Capricorn, where you're like, oh, these people are better, or they're faster, or they're smarter than me. But I don't think any of that is true. Pluto in Aquarius is going to be all about your unique perspective in value, like how you value yourself, or how you get value from the world. And so I feel you need to realize that, like, yeah, sure, there might be competition for what you're trying to do, but you are unique enough, if no one's ever told you that. So there you go. You have the 5 wands. So again, like I said, competition. 5 wands can be conflict or competition. I do feel that Capricorn has a great opportunity as well to study the competition. I think this over really for many years to come, there will be competition. We are moving towards co-creation. Pluto in Aquarius is all about moving from competition to co-creation. That's like part of it. And so I feel a lot of you, I feel, it would be a good time to study the competition. Really, the trick with Pluto in Aquarius is to innovate, of course. So we have to study the competition. We have to see what they're doing and what they're not doing, and we have to fill in the gaps. So, this goes for pretty much everything in your life, not just business, but also, love, your friendships, things like that. There might be unique ways that you can stand out, and facing the fear. Being unique is a little scary because if you're wrong, or if people make fun of you or whatever. With the 4 of Cups and the Magician, you have the 3 of Cups. Yeah, 3 of Cups is celebrating a harvest. Didn't I say this to you? I'm pretty sure in the readings that I just did for you. It just popped into my head. I feel like some of you have a choice right now. I'm pretty sure this is exactly what I said. It just gives me this vibe that it's like you could accomplish something right now, or you could wait until next year and do it next year. I don't really think it matters, but I also, I think what I said to you is, I would do it now. If there's something that you're trying to accomplish, I would really go for it right now. It's like, why wait? I feel like you could wait, as in, is it really going to make that big of a difference? Probably not. I think the only difference is, you could have a success now or in the future, and it's probably, some sort of harvest. So, definitely could be financial. With the Temperance card, you have the 7 of Pentacles. Yeah, definitely big change coming up here because of that 4 of Pentacles as well. 4 of Pentacles, Tower, that's like being stuck in a comfort zone, or, being stuck in the old life, basically. The Tower, those people are ignoring reality. They're coming down to reality. They've been trying to protect themselves from a new reality, basically. And, that's also the problem with Neptune and Pisces, is that it dissolves things. And so it can dissolve things that we think bring us security, like a job, a career, whatever. And it's not like it will disappear overnight. It's more like the dissolving of Neptune is that things will happen. It's like if you have a job that you don't really like, it's like you're going to like it less during Neptune and Pisces. You probably have, if you've had a job this whole Neptune and Pisces cycle. It's like you like it less and less and less. Maybe your earnings go down just a little bit. It's like it doesn't really cause it like a crash or anything in your life, but it definitely slowly things start moving down, right? And so I feel that is maybe a reality that you're facing at the end of Neptune and Pisces now, where you're like, okay, this thing that once supported me doesn't really support me any longer. And 7 of Pentacles is about analyzing the situation and saying, I need to make a change. And, we have the Wheel of Fortune here, which is a very fortunate change that could be happening. With the 5 of Wands, you have the Sun, which is amazing. We have the Sun and the Star here. The Sun and the Star together is like fame and fortune. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to become famous, but it is very good for getting attention, standing out, all those other good things. The Sun makes the whole entire reading more positive as well. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this 4th house card. It says home. You have the Series card. It says nurture on it. And you have the 9 of Pentacles as your first card, which is pre-Empress energy. The Empress is nurturing energy. So you could be taking care of yourself more in the home. Some of you, I definitely think this is true, that some of you maybe want to work from home, or maybe you want to do, or you will want to do more things from home in the, maybe not like this second, but definitely as we move into next year, Wouldn't surprise me if some of you were getting like starting home-based businesses, or just wanting to create a nicer space for yourself. That definitely comes up for you in your astrology, so that could be something you're thinking about right now. Make sure to leave a comment, by the way. It really helps me out. You have the Nine of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Seven of Swords. Nine of Pentacles is, of course, the card of independence, gratitude, luxuries, having the nicer things in life. It's about truly being able to take care of yourself as well. She has 3 pentacles here and 6 pentacles over here. She's willing to give 3 pentacles to any situation in her life, but she always keeps more than enough for herself. And so the Nine of Pentacles can be more about your investment. And this doesn't have to be money. This could be time, effort, attention, love, whatever, any type of energy, really. And so I think that a lot of you are going to become more balanced as we move forward. I also feel that, again, probably over the next year or so, you are going to be more focused on your environment. The Nine of Pentacles is the environment around you, the energy around you. I would be careful of even the things that you're putting in your head. She has this falcon here, and the falcon represents her training her focus. Again, if you're too focused on the competition and you're too focused on, I can't have this because there's competition, then that's going to be true. If you focus on all the reasons why you can do something, then that will be true. And so pick your truth here, Capricorn. You have the Wheel of Fortune, which can be a change in your fortunes, of course, or, a lucky, fortunate event happening for you. I do feel that luck is on your side. I feel that you don't feel lucky because of your past many years. And so I think you need to realize that things can work better now. That doesn't mean they're going to work, things are going to work overnight or anything, but I definitely feel that things are improving. Things will continue to improve in your life. And I also feel there's more options for having a lucky break for you, Capricorn. I don't think this is luck like we think about it. I think this is luck as in, if you start something, maybe there will still be competition, maybe there will be obstacles, but these are things that you can easily overcome. Wheel of Fortune really wants us to take control of our reality. We have to control the direction of the wheel on the Wheel of Fortune. So it wants you to pay attention to things that are working, what's not working. With the Nine of Pentacles, it would want you to give more energy to the things that are working, less energy to things that definitely aren't, right? And it wants you to create that flow. You have the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords, most people read as lying, cheating, stealing, but really it's a card of doing something in a different way. He's stealing these swords from this army in the background here. And so he's going to war, but just in a different way. And so there's probably a better way to do everything. Now that I think about it as well, definitely don't start any wars at the end of the year here. I would say, for the next couple of years at least. And so, don't get involved in any battles with people in your life. I would try to avoid those things as much as you possibly can. But I would also say that you are probably discovering better ways to do things, and that I would double down on for sure. But let's see. With the Nine of Pentacles, you have the Five of Swords. Didn't you have this twice? Oh yeah, right at the top here. So we have the Five of Swords. Five of Swords is a card of being unique. It is a card of being kind of independent. The Nine of Pentacles really is a card of independence. The guy at the front of the card, he is choosing to walk away. He technically, Five of Swords represents winning at all cost. But he is walking away alone. Some of you might be walking away from things, and this is kind of like choosing to be right and wrong at the same time is what I'm getting here, Capricorn. It's like we can be dealing with people in any area of life. We can know that we're right, but we can choose not to have the battle, like I was saying with that Seven of Swords. And so really, you are in a time, again, your power is going to come from Pluto and Aquarius in your second house. It's like you don't have to prove anything to anyone. All you have to do is live your life. With the Wheel of Fortune, you have the Three of Wands. Yeah, what I would say is anything worth doing is going to be expansive, Capricorn. It's like anything worth doing for Capricorn is going to be something that takes you out of a comfort zone, that kind of pushes you to the limits. I'm not talking about burning yourself out here. I have to be careful with Capricorn because I know that you will work till you're dead. But, what I would say here is it's not about burning yourself out. It's about true growth and picking opportunities that are going to expand. With the Seven of Swords, you have the Knight of Cups. Like a little bit of love here, as always, with you, Capricorn. So, Knight of Cups could be a Knight in Shining Armor. You have the Four of Wands in your last row, which could be marriage, but, it doesn't have to be. This can also be your approach to a dream. The Knight of Cups is very dreamy. He has some plans for his future life, or he has some plans for his dreams. And the Seven of Swords says, you can still have your dream, but maybe you have to approach it in a different way, and I definitely would. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this. Here you go. You have this Dream Catcher card. It says, pay attention to signs, messages, and guidance that come to you at night. You have this Time is up. It says, no second chances, no revisiting. There's something better waiting. Yes, there's definitely something better that is coming in for you. I don't know that it's better, but it's just like, and I hesitate to say easier, but I definitely feel you could be trying something again, like I said at the beginning of the reading, and I feel it will go better this time, so I would go for it. You have the Four of Wands, the Moon, and the Seven of Cups. Four of Wands could be marriage. Four of Wands can also be freedom, which I definitely feel the universe is kind of pushing Capricorn to set themselves free. And so if there's anything that you're stuck or bound to, again, if you have a job, for example, that you hate, it's just going to slowly, over time, go down. And that could be your freedom. Maybe you slowly lose freedoms at that job, or maybe they want you to work more hours or whatever. And so the Four of Wands wants you to make freedom your focus, and that's what I would do with this card. You have the Moon. The Moon in the good stuff is like clarity. Can represent seeing the goal more clearly. This is part of the Fool's journey. He has to get from here to these mountains, and the problem is that it's dark, but there is a full moon. So if you've ever been outside on a full moon, it's like you can see what's going on around you, but there are shadows, there are illusions, there are things that you aren't sure if they're real or not, right? So the moon can create illusions for us. But in the area of the good stuff, it could say that you're seeing past the illusions and you're understanding like what steps you actually need to take. So I do feel pretty good about this. One thing I will say is that the moon says don't get distracted. There are these two pillars from the moon, and you have the star here. So the moon wants you to pick a goal and see it through to the end, and that's it. So if you start something, finish it. You have the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups is about being spoiled for choice, having a lot of options. I really feel like you're having a bunch of ideas, and the universe is like giving you ideas, and the universe is like, yes, this will work. And then maybe you're saying to yourself, no, this can't work. And the universe is like, okay. And then the universe gives you another idea, and it's like, this could work. And you're like, this could work. And then you're like, no, it can't work. And so I feel, again, your ideas can work. It doesn't matter what you pick, right? And like I said earlier, it's about the journey right now. It really doesn't matter what goal you pick because, I truly believe right now, especially with Neptune and Pisces, that we will be led to the right thing. So it's like we really, even if we start, even if it's possible to start with the wrong goal, eventually it will lead to the right goal, And so really it's just about starting for you, Capricorn. With the Four of Wands, you have the Page of Wands. Yep, the adventure. That Page of Wands, I really like this Page of Wands energy for you. He's just willing to follow his enthusiasm. He's willing to just be optimistic about the journey, and he just goes on the journey. With the Moon, you have the Lovers. Like I said, could be a little bit of love for you here. It might be about going on the journey. Maybe you have to open up and date or meet new people, It's like you have to go through the process. It is kind of funny because I do feel like Capricorn is kind of over the process, of everything. Not just love, but basically anything that you're starting, you're just like, oh my God, do I have to learn this new thing again? If it's a person, you could be saying, oh my God, do we have to go through the whole, go on a date, talk about the weather, talk about my day, go through the motions. It's like, I think Capricorn is a little bit sick of the motions, the beginning setup motion part of something. I don't know, that's how it's popping into my head. Part of me is saying like, yeah, okay, it's like, yeah, talking to a person about the weather, is pretty boring. No one really wants to do it, right? But at the same time, it's like if you find a person, for example, that you enjoy it, then that could be a good clue. But this could also be in business. It's like maybe that's a clue for you. If you find a business where you're like, I don't mind the beginning part, going through the motions, then maybe that's a clue of what you should be doing. With the Seven of Cups, you have the Hermit. Definitely time to get out of Hermit mode. I think this is true for everyone. We have the South Node in Virgo. South Node in Virgo can kind of put us in Hermit mode, can make us be a little bit more withdrawn or like not wanting to put ourselves out there or, whatever the case may be. So, I think socializing, and I've said this to you before, getting out there. You have the 3 cups, socializing would be good. You have this Mule card. It says, someone is extremely stubborn and unwilling to change. I'm not saying it's you, but maybe it's you, So not calling you out, but I get it. So, we have the Magician, he wants you to change, right? You have this rainbow. It says, the most difficult part of a situation is over. There you go. So you are coming out the other side, and, I definitely feel that you are, it's like those hard lessons are over, but you're still maybe living as if they still exist. So I would let those things go. You have this broken ring. It says parting of the ways, either in romance or business. Can't make that up. I'm telling you right now, I feel this for Capricorn. It's like something is slipping. Maybe it feels like something is slipping away. I feel like it would still support you. Like if you have a job and maybe because of inflation, you're making less money, kind of, then, I feel like you would be fine, if you stayed there. But I feel like this reading is saying there's something better, like that time is up card says. There's something better that exists, but you have to go on the adventure to find it. You have this grapes card that says, time to go out and have fun. Yes. Are you kidding? Definitely time for socializing, fun, doing fun things. You have this pail. Can't make this one up either. It says, time to get out of a situation. Yes, whatever is like slowly creeping down. Like I said, am I worried about it for you? No. I think you would, whatever it is could still probably support you for years. But the universe is like, you're settling for scraps when you could have something like a full feast, something much better. So there you go. I like this, Capricorn. I feel like you're getting a little bit more motivated, which is good. But thank you for being here. Make sure to leave a comment, and definitely enjoy your week.